Hey everybody, welcome back to MNO with Dylan. I'm Dylan Howell, your host. This is episode number 3 of our YouTube channel podcast. We are so excited to bring you this content that will help you grow forward in your financial life by teaching you how to steward your finances well. Today, our topic is something that I think is particularly interesting, and it will help you alleviate a lot of your financial stress, and that topic is hard work. Now, before we get started, this is a new YouTube channel. This is a new podcast. I need you guys to subscribe. That would be fantastic. It would help me out a ton in continuing to bring you guys new content, better content. Subscribe to my channel. If you're on YouTube, also click that like button. Comment on this particular video and my other videos in order to create a conversation with me, things that we can talk about personal finances. That engagement with me would be fantastic, and I'd love that. It'd really help me a whole lot. Also go to social media, follow us at MNO with Dylan. We're on all the major social media platforms. You can go follow us there. And the podcast version of this channel is on both iTunes and Spotify, so you can get us in both of those platforms. So let's start today. Let's talk about some things that cause financial stress, right? I think one of the biggest ones, one of the first ones we can just lay out there is debt. Debt causes a lot of financial stress. We always have to worry about making these payments on these things that most of which we take for granted. I think a lot of us take for granted the fact that we go out to our cars every day and they turn on and they get us to where we need to go. But we're making exorbitant payments on that. We're making credit card payments, which, come on now, crazy interest rates, but that's a story for a different episode. So we're making credit card payments, we're making payments on medical bills, we're making payments on all these different things that are keeping us financially down, that are creating a lot of stress in our life around finances. The big problem with debt is that it's so easy to access. Everybody's offering financing for just about everything. You can finance your couch if you want to. You can finance your phone. Most people do. Most people do have an iPhone that they are financing, that they're making payments on, right? You can finance, like I said earlier, your vehicle, your home. That's a little bit of a different thing, but it's still another debt that you're going to have to pay over time. So that's a stress that has to do with the outgo of our money, the expenses of our household every month. But what about the income? What about the things that are coming to us, the money that is coming to us? Well, lack of income can be a place that there's a lot of financial stress as well. Especially if you have debt, especially if you have a lot of expenses in your household, a lack of income is going to be something that really hinders you, that really hurts in the long run. It's going to hurt your ability to grow wealth. It's going to hurt your ability to make all your payments every month on time. It's going to hurt your ability to have a fund for emergencies. All of those things are important things you need to do financially, and not having the income to do so can be a big issue and a big cause of our stresses financially. Another thing that causes stress is FOMO. Don't know if you've ever heard of FOMO. Many of you probably have. Fear of missing out, F-O-M-O, FOMO. Fear of missing out causes us a lot of stress. Like we talked about in our video yesterday about contentment, when we're looking at what other people have and we're afraid of not having that thing or missing out on the ability to do certain things, then we're going to really have a lot of stress on us. We're going to be discontented. We're going to be really just driven to go get that thing at all costs, and that's a way that financial stress can fester up inside of us, and that's a really dangerous thing if you're holding on to those stresses long term. Another thing that really causes your financial stress to skyrocket is lack of knowledge and lack of the willingness to learn about your money and about finances. When you're not willing to learn about these things and you're not willing to take the steps to make your financial life better, that's actually going to cause a lot of stress, because you're going to sit down every month to pay bills and not know what's coming in, not know what's going out. not know if you're going to make your payments, not know if you're going to be able to do this or do that. And that's just a lack of preparedness, a lack of willingness to change, a lack of knowledge that causes financial stress. One of the things I hear really the most often is, man, I hate math. I don't want to deal with finances because I hate math. Well, can you do addition and subtraction? Can you do some basic multiplication and division? Maybe you don't even have to do that. Maybe you can download some of these amazing budgeting and finance apps that will help you do the math. All you have to do is just put the numbers in. That's all you have to do. And so I hate hearing that, because it really shows that we're willing to make a particular excuse for something that is not the cause. The cause of you not taking control of your financial life is not the fact that you're not good at math. That's just something that, in most cases, it's a cop-out. In most cases, it's something that you just blame it on. And that's not a healthy habit to have, is blaming your issues on something that is actually extremely controllable, and things are out there that can help you to become better at budgeting or dealing with your finances or whatever that may be. So all of those things cause financial stress. So what about alleviating financial stress? I said that today's about hard work, right? And I kind of want to preface all of this by saying that I don't believe that you can just work your way out of every hole. I believe there's a certain amount of tragedy and a certain amount of situation that is hard to get over. But that doesn't mean that you can't work hard to get to a better place. That doesn't mean that maybe you're going to be able to make it to the point that somebody else can because of where they started. But it doesn't mean that you can't be in a better place than you are today. And that's really what this video is predicated on, is that the hard work that you're willing to do can alleviate a lot of your stress, because what it can do is it can allow you to decrease that amount of debt that you have that's causing your financial stress. It can help you increase your income because you're working harder, you're working more, and it can put those blinders on you to help you not have that view of, I'm fearful that I'm missing out on this thing that other people are doing, or that I'm not taking advantage of all this financing that I can get my hands on, or I'm not buying this new car that I feel like I deserve just because I'm 25 or however old you are. And so financial stresses can be alleviated by hard work. It's one of the best cures for it. I'm not saying it's the only cure for your financial stress. I'm just saying, in my own life, whenever financial stress occurs, one of the best ways to get rid of it, go to work. So just naturally, it's our design to work. Do you ever get that feeling of, especially during the coronavirus lockdown, that feeling that you've lost some meaning, you've lost some passion, you've lost some willingness to get up and get after it and go and follow your routine and all of those things? It's because you were designed to work. Maybe you weren't designed to be a cog in a wheel, but you were designed to work. God has designed us to go and work and do good things. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna do exactly what you love to do all the time. That doesn't mean that everything's gonna be perfectly fulfilling, or the career that you have is the career that you're supposed to have long term. But you were supposed to work. You were supposed to go earn what you have. There's dignity in working as well. When we work, we're actually using the skills that we have. There's a particular set of skills that we were all given. They're all different. They don't match up perfectly with any other person. We were given a unique set of skills that we can take into the workplace, we can take into the whatever field we're in, we can take into starting our own business and maximize on those skills and create something of value. Create value within a company, create value in our own company. We can do those things because we were given a unique set of skills, and those skills weren't meant to be sat on. They were meant that we would go and work. It was meant that we would go and use those skills to create value and do good things. And why are we working in the first place? We're working so that we can take these resources, whatever these resources may be, and grow these things into something new and something different. And we use our skills to do that. It's a lot like gardening, right? When you go and you plant a seed and you water that seed, and let's say it's a particular flower, and you're having to prune that flower over time, and you're having to make sure that you're working at it, right? That you're keeping up with it. Because if you, in this hot sun, if you go and forget to water it for a number of days, if you don't give it the attention that it needs, if you don't do the hard work of going outside every day and tending to the things that you have sown into the ground, then those things will die. And so what our work is supposed to do is supposed to allow us to grow things, whether it be our own abilities or whether it be our relationships with other people, whether it be, like I said earlier, a creation of value in a business that we create. All those things are growth from the use of your skills in the hard work that you do. So what's another reason that we work? We work to serve. We work to serve others. We have this particular set of skills that we can use in service of other people or in service of organizations, and that can provide a lot of good and do a lot of good things. And so working in that way is something we were meant to do. We were meant to go serve. We were meant to help others in the ways that we can and with the skills that we're given. So ultimately, what I'm trying to get at is that this idea of work is valuable and can help you financially. And so work should be a plan. It should be maybe not a means to an end, but a means to something that you are trying to achieve, something that you're trying to do. And so work should have a meaning. It should have something that you're particularly trying to do that is going to be useful long term tied to it. Because if your work was meaningless, so should be the benefits of that work, right? So if you were going to work and doing nothing, in essence, should you get paid anything? Should you get the rewards of working if you didn't do any work? No, we live in a very much cause and effect world, to where if you're doing something that is value producing, then you're going to reap the benefits of that value that you produced. The payoff from your work is not meant to benefit your boss or anybody that you directly report to. It's meant to benefit you. And I know a lot of times many of us can't see that. We can't see how our work is helping us, but you're refining your skills. You're making your skills better. Maybe you're preparing for another place in life that you're going to use those skills. Your work is benefiting you. And obviously it benefits you financially, because the more work that you're doing, the more you're getting paid in a lot of instances. If you're on salary, you're going to work and you're doing this work and you're getting paid this fixed amount, and that's okay too. But it's benefiting you. It's not benefiting your boss or anybody else in your organization. Your work should fulfill you, right? Your work should be something that you do that brings you joy, that brings you some fulfillment. And I'm not saying that the job that you have right now, whether it be I'm just trying to make ends meet or I'm living paycheck to paycheck, is not a necessary step, but your work should bring you fulfillment. You should feel like you have done something. You should feel like you have created value in some way for yourself and for your company, and that you've benefited from this work that you've done. You should be fulfilled by the work that you do. That shouldn't be your ultimate fulfillment, but you should feel some kind of accomplishment. You should feel like you've done good because you went to work, you worked hard, you did the things you were supposed to do, your skills were refined that day. And I know that some days stink at work. I know that work is not always unicorns and rainbows, but it should be a place where you are continuously working this plan, continually working towards a particular end, whatever that end may be for you. And as you're working towards that end, you're constantly getting better. You're constantly looking at work more and more like something that's benefiting me, something that's doing me a lot of good, instead of something that's doing good just for my boss or my company. Doing good work gives you freedom. Doing good work makes you feel free and empowered to do other things and to look at your life in a little different way. And so one of the things that we talked about earlier that causes financial stress, one of the largest financial stress causing issues is debt, right? And so debt is described in a lot of ways as bondage. Debt is something that's holding you down, that's tying you down, that you're having to answer for that debt. You're having to be held down financially by that debt. Well, hard work's actually going to give you some freedom. It's going to make you look at your life in a little different way. It's going to make you look up and go, well, if I'm doing all this work and I'm being compensated for it in these ways, why do I want to be tied down in another part of my life? No, I like this feeling of freedom. I like this feeling of empowerment, and I want that in all parts of my life. And then you're more apt to attack that debt. You're more apt to make the decision to get rid of that financial bondage that's holding you and get rid of those financial stresses that go along with that bondage. I believe that the work I do is valuable. I believe that when I wake up in the morning and I go and I'm doing the things that constitute work in my particular day, I believe that's valuable, and I don't want to waste the value and the benefits that I receive from creating that value on payments on things that I don't need or don't want that bad, or am just making an impulse purchase on. I want to spend my money on, things that are really important to me. I want to have some sense of, I worked hard for this. I'm not going to waste it on things that's unnecessary to waste my money on. So what's another thing that work does? Work positions you in a place where you can learn from people that are smarter than you. You can look at what these other people have done in their careers and their lives, and you can try to emulate certain parts of that. You can try to do the things that they've done and hopefully gain some of the things that they've gained. This is not necessarily looking at other people and saying, I want what they have, but it's saying this person has done things the right way. I want their guidance. I want to learn something from them. I want to see their actions and learn how to do things in this responsible way. And that's extremely healthy, but you have to be careful, because if that person is somebody that you're aspiring to be like and do things like, then you're also likely to see that they have things that you don't have. And so it's a slippery slope to fall into that area of discontentment that we've talked about previously. But you do need to find other people that have done better than you, that are currently doing better than you, and learn from those people, learn from their actions. Yeah, hard work is a big deal, right? But there are some pitfalls of work that I think we really need to address. First of all, work can become extremely selfish. Work can become something that you're constantly just saying, what can I get out of this? What am I going to benefit? And you're not necessarily looking at the value that you can create to attain those benefits that you want. If you're just constantly looking for, I need a benefit, I need the benefit, I need the benefit, then you're probably not doing a lot towards creating value for other people. You're not seeing that fulfillment that comes with creating value for other people in what you're doing. Work can also seem fruitless or pointless in a lot of ways. If you're constantly just punching the clock and not getting a lot from what you're doing, it can start seeming like, man, what am I doing? Am I just going to collect a check? And I think a lot of people feel that way. And it's not a healthy view of work. It's not a healthy way to look at work, because if you feel that it's fruitless or pointless, then you'll probably use the benefits of it in fruitless and pointless ways as well. The thing that you're doing today may not be your dream. That's okay. You can still benefit from working hard at whatever this thing is that you're currently doing. It may not be your dream job, it may not be your dream career, but you can work to that place. But while you're working to that place, let's get all the benefits that we can from the things that we're doing and work as hard as we can towards a potential end. And in this particular case, what I'm talking about is that end being alleviation of financial stress, getting rid of some of these things in our life that are causing us stress, that are continuously pulling us down into this place that we don't really want to be financially. One last pitfall of work that I want to talk about is that work can show what your idols are. How often have you heard the story of the man or woman who goes to work, works a 80, 90-hour week, works really hard, probably makes really good money, but doesn't spend time with their kids or doesn't spend time with their spouse, and they may end up divorced or alone or any kind of negative consequences from that. They may end up burnt out. They may end up where they're not happy. They're discontent. They're not feeling good about what they're doing in life, and that's a particular pitfall that is very real, very dangerous, and something that we have to watch out for, because when we're working hard, right, and we start to feel like, oh, I'm creating value, I feel really good about what I'm doing, right, then you can get to a place where you're worshiping your success. You're worshiping the benefits of your success. You're trying to climb that ladder, and that's all that you really want, and that's all that you think is going to make you happy. And it's not. That's a pitfall of working really hard. Working hard is a good thing, but it's not a good thing if we get our priorities out of line from what they should be, and we start creating these things that we're worshiping and that we're actively seeking above the things that really matter. So what? So what do we need? What do we need to do? You need to have a clear plan of where you're going to go financially. You can work hard and still be broke. You can do things that you feel are good things. You can create value and still be making payments on all types of things and be broke and be discontented. And we don't want you to be in that place. I want you to be in a place where you are creating this value, you're getting these benefits, and you're feeling fulfilled by the work that you're doing. What we know is that your habits have to change so that your financial life can change. Your habits have to change so that you can alleviate your financial stress. You making more money and you working hard to do so is not going to change what you do with your finances. What's going to change what you do with your finances is an emotional change, is a spiritual change, is a mental change of deciding that you want to do something different. The reason that more money is not going to change you is because more money is just going to show you who you are. It's just going to make you more of the person you were before you had more money or before you worked really hard. So why else do we need a plan? Why else do we need to make sure that we're working hard and doing so for the right reasons? Well, tragedy can strike your life at any time. Did you know that most Americans can't cover a $400 expense? $400. I bet you've got at least a $1,000 iPhone in your hand watching this video right now. It's extremely likely that you do. And most Americans can't cover a $400 expense? That is outrageous. But how do we alleviate that? How do we make that not the case anymore? Well, the first step that we can take is working hard to make more money and view money differently, to where we see that things like this can happen and we can put away money for emergencies. And that's an extremely important thing that we like to talk about in our own financial plans that we create for people. Good work habits are going to help you get to where you need to be. They're going to help you create a healthier purpose for your life. You may not be completely gratified even in that beginning stage of working harder and doing things a different way and changing the way that you view money. But it's a process, and it's something that you have to continuously follow and continuously realign your mind to that place where, okay, I'm going to follow this plan and do this thing so that I can get to a particular place, so that I can reap particular benefits. Once again, breaking old habits and building new ones in a particular part of your life will make you more willing to do so in other parts of your life. It's such a common thing where people get a new job or people are getting out of debt or whatever they're doing, and subsequently they're losing 50 pounds and they're losing weight that they needed to lose. And it's like, how are these things correlated? They decided to make a change. They decided that I'm going to trade bad habits for good habits, and their life changes. And that's what we want to see. And let's not forget this. Your work today is going to fund your future tomorrow. The biggest tool that you have at your disposal financially is your income. And I said that earlier, that can be a cause of financial stress, is a lack of income. You can build financial success based on increasing your income. You can build financial success based on increasing your income, decreasing your expenses, but that income has to come from somewhere. And that income comes from the work that you do and working hard and doing things in a particular way that are value creating and are allowing you to reap the benefits of your work. When you're doing that meaningful work though, you'll realize that the future that you want and the future that you want to fund can't be done with a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. You'll realize that, man, this work that I'm doing and all of these good things that I'm putting forth, I'm not reaping the rewards of that. I'm having to pay that out to somebody else or some bank or some car company or whatever it may be on a month-to-month basis. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in bondage to my creditors. I want to be free to live the life that I want to live and do the things that I want to do and be able to give generously and be able to save for the future. And that meaningful work, that hard work that you do, will open your eyes more to those things if you have that right plan, that right mindset for how work should be. So working hard is not the only way that you can alleviate financial stress. It's one way that you can do so, but there are several other ways that financial stress can be alleviated, and we'll kind of talk about those next week and the week after as we go over our financial action plan, where we're actually laying out step by step things that you need to do to build wealth, to be more content, to give more, to be financially successful as a whole. And so having that plan in place will allow you to find meaning in your work and will give you a reason why you should work hard and create that value that we've talked about in this video. And you'll have a clearer path as to why hard work is important and what the benefits of that hard work will allow you to do moving forward. And hopefully it'll help you to live the life that you want to live long term. I just want to wrap all this up by saying the fruits of your hard work are not immediate. You have to grind. You have to, day after day, month after month, year after year, step into that place where I have a healthy view of work. I know that I'm going to work to be value maximizing, that I'm going to work to be reaping benefits for myself and for my family, and allowing yourself to know that your hard work is not in vain. Your hard work is creating value for others and yourself. And if you can go into it with that healthy view, then long term you're going to see changes. Your financial life is going to change tremendously. You're going to be able to alleviate stresses in your own life. You're going to be able to raise your income over time that will help you to get out of debt and build wealth and give more generously and all of those good things. And all of that stems from that healthy view of what is work, why am I working, and what is my work for? Guys, I just want to thank you again for watching this video. You viewers of these early videos are very, very valuable to me, and I could not be more thankful and excited that you watch. Like I said earlier, if you could just go like this video, comment anything that you think may be useful for me to talk about in future videos. Go and subscribe, click the bell to get notifications when we bring out new content. Go follow us on social media at MNO with Dylan, and continue to tune in. Like I said in previous videos, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central is when all of our videos come out. The new videos Monday through Friday are coming out 6 a.m. Central time, and you can watch all of those. You can look out for those, know when they're coming out. Also on Saturdays, you'll see our weekly rewind videos, which are the broader topics of some of the things that I talk about throughout the week without a whole lot of the specific detail. It's some clips of things that I've said throughout the week that could be very useful to you, and then maybe you want to watch those particular videos in order to dig in a little further, and that would be great and helpful to us as well. So I'm really excited about tomorrow's video. Tune in. It is the most fun that you'll ever have with money, and I think you're going to like it. I think it's going to be something that helps you out a lot in the long term. So thanks for tuning in to this third episode of MNO with Dylan. I'm your host, Dylan Howell. God bless.